Summertime is officially here, and that means it is picnic season. Now, if you are looking for ways to keep your food at a safe temperature while you're at an all-day picnic, this is the video for you. I'm going to show you how we do our setup when we have parties out in our barn and how we keep all of our food either hot or cold for the duration of the whole party. So let's jump right in. So last night we just had a big party out in our barn to celebrate our son's high school graduation. He's headed off to college this August, and we had a big potluck picnic. So a lot of our friends and family came to celebrate. And because it's a potluck, there are a lot of people bringing food that we have no idea if it's going to be hot, cold, what type of food it is, and what they're going to need to keep it at a safe temperature. So this is how we set up our barn just to try to accommodate whatever people are going to bring. So this is the buffet line that we had set up for the party. And over on this side, we did all the hot foods. So my husband hung up these big power strips, and there are 2 outlets they're spread out, so 10 altogether. But I really like these power strips as opposed to the ones we've used in the past years because of how spread out the outlets are. Normally, the power strip is only about this long total and all of the outlets are in that spot. But when all of the outlets are in one place, you can't spread out your warming trays unless you're then using multiple extension cords plugged into each other, which is not good. You're not supposed to do that. So I really like these big long strips because it spreads out the outlets, and you can have warming trays all the way down the table that can be plugged in, and the length of the cord is fine for that. And so we put up, well, I say we, my husband put up these power strips all the way around the barn, and that worked out really great, that we were able to plug in all of the warming trays and crock pots, and everything could be spread out, and it kept it nice and warm and safe for the entire picnic. Now, if you are at a picnic where you do not have access to electricity, so you can't plug in warming trays or things like that, there are other options for you. This is a 350 watt power inverter, and this works on DeWalt batteries. So if you have batteries for power tools that are cordless, you can actually plug those into this, and they will power this as a charging station that you can then plug in other things. So as you can see in here, they make them for DeWalt, they make them for Milwaukee and Makita, and you can use that to plug in a warming tray, you can charge your phone, you can plug in a coffee pot when you're camping or hunting, and these are really handy things to have around. Now, I will say, disclaimer, we do not have one of these yet. It is on our wish list. So this is not something that I've personally tried out, but here are some other options as well. I would just encourage you to read the reviews on Amazon, and you can find one that works best for you. But that would be an option for you if you are at a picnic where there is no access to electricity. You can just bring one of these and plug in whatever you need. And as you can see here, Amazon has lots of different options. So for the cold foods, this is what we had set up for the cold foods. Now, these tables I got from Walmart, and I'll link those, but I don't know if you can tell right now, there's a plug here. This is filled with water because, like I said, we had the party last night. By the time everyone left, it was dark and we just wanted to get to bed. So we just left the ice here overnight. That's why it's water now. But during the party, it did stay frozen. So we had ice in this table, ice in that table, and then we have those inflatable buffets down there, which I'll show you in a minute. But these tables are nice. They did come with a, I don't know if I put it somewhere. I threw it somewhere, I don't know. They do come with a kind of like a hose that sticks out the bottom so you can angle the water to wherever you want it to go when you drain it. We didn't bother setting that up because we are outside in the barn. We'll just unplug this, and I can do it now and show you. All you have to do is take that little plug out, and we just have the water leaking into a 5-gallon bucket, so that'll be good enough. But this is really nice to keep your food cold. It's nice and big, just deep enough that you can fill it with ice and everybody can set their cold foods in here. It kept the stuff cold throughout the entire party. So it worked out really well. We have 2 of these tables, and my husband just told me to buy more because these are really nice. He's like, just get more because we always have parties out here and it just makes it so easy. Sorry, now you hear that water running in the background the whole time. But anyways, so this is the other option too. If you don't want to go with the tables, you can use these inflatable buffets. I got these on Amazon, so I'll link those. But this was the same thing. It's filled with water right now because we let the ice melt last night. But there's a little plug there so you can drain it through the bottom. If you're outside, if you're like outside on a picnic table, you can just drain it into the grass. Now in our case, we're just, hold on, that water is like so loud. Hold on. Stick the plug back in there. All right, sorry about that. So anyways, like I was saying, in our case, we're inside the barn. I don't want to pour all that water onto the floor. So what I would do is just deflate this a little bit, just enough to make a crease there, and we'll drain the water into a garbage can and then do it that way. But if you're outside, all you have to do is pull that plug and just let the water fall into the grass. So these are really convenient because you can put them anywhere on any surface. Even if you just have it laying in the grass, you can do that. I've seen pictures of people having them float in the pool and having drinks with ice just floating around in the pool. So while people are swimming, they can go over and get a drink that's cold. So these are really cool. And that's what we use for the cold food. So just wanted to show you guys kind of our setup for picnics and how we make sure that nobody gets food poisoning or, you know, the food stays at a safe temperature throughout the entire party. We do also use Yeti coolers a lot, and we have several different sizes. These work great. They'll keep stuff cold for days as long as you don't open it, like don't leave it open. You know, people were in and out of it all night. But let's take a peek. Yeah, there's still ice in there. Even though kids were in and out of it all day long, there's still ice. So that's still very cold. These work really well. So we use Yeti coolers a lot too. So that was our setup for the party. Nobody got food poisoning. All the food stayed either hot or cold throughout the entire party. And we all had a great time. It was a really fun time, but now it's time to clean up. So I'm gonna get going, but thanks for watching, guys. And hopefully this is helpful for you, and some of these products will work for you for your picnics as well. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.